Let's see. A time to speak, a time to be quiet. This is a time to stop and be quiet. Maybe that's why we started this reading silently, mostly. Quiet. So not a time to have a conversation. Exactly. I heard this is you talking. So this card's about, right now is about listening. Listening. Looking, listening. Something's letting go naturally. I'm seeing a lot of a chart with like a lot of retrograde planets, so this is like, again, an emphasis of slow energy. Let's see, we have 2. Obstacle. Yeah, we're supposed to sit still for a second. And attachment. So the obstacle is attachment. Again, something has to be let go of. So it's time to not talk about it. It's about doing it. Maybe okay, this could be where someone's always trying to have a conversation about something. Like, I heard someone maybe talks to themselves or convinces themselves that something is okay when it's not. This could also be, for some of you, this is detachment from toxic things, toxic people. Particularly if some of you have working through like sociopathic folks or narcissist kind of energy, draining energy, things that like sucked. Some of you there needs to be better boundaries about that. Maybe somebody has cut something off. They're like, look, I'm cutting off right? Usually 8 of Wands is I am talking, I am sending messages, I am calling people, I am reaching out for you, I'm trying to reach you. This is like, no. And because even if you tried to reach out, I guess there's some kind of obstacle that comes with that, because whatever that connection, there's some kind of connection that doesn't want to be connected anymore, or is not supposed to be connected anymore, because now it could have been a really big learning lesson. Some of you specifically, this is via a fire sign or your 8th house sign, but now it's like it's almost become a burden. Like maybe something started because something needed to be learned, or something started because it needed to be there. It was like, okay, this was broken, I needed a crutch. All right, now this is no longer broken, or at very least it's healed enough that a person can walk without this crutch. So I'm seeing again where a person stops talking about like, oh, I know I need to leave that person, they're unhealthy for me. I know, stop complaining about that friend or that family member, and just like make correct decisions about it. This could also be like habitual. It's habitual energy regardless. You know, I keep seeing the example where someone is always talking about like stopping something again. They're like, oh, I hate my job, I really want to quit my job, but they keep going, you know. Or I really need to like quit smoking, but they don't. It's like there's always, because then there's awareness around it. So that's almost even a little bit more scary versus like if there was complete ignorance. You know, if someone doesn't know that something's not healthy for them, then that's different. But I feel like a person's gone around the block enough to know that they can't really have a conversation about it anymore because it's already been said. There's like nothing that can be said that has not been said. And even if you try to approach this situation, that person, whatever, it's not about saying anymore. It's about not, I heard discussing it, or like not engaging it is the situation. Decision. So maybe that's exactly what's happened. If for some of you this hasn't happened yet, I guess we just discussed that, what to do if that's the case. Cut off communication, stop talking about it, do it. You know what I mean? Like it's somebody's making excuses for bad behavior here, or they like know that it's because they can't even project it onto the other person or the other thing anymore. Like you can't like blame booze, you know. It's like it's not the pool it's the person that has the awareness's fault now. Does that make sense? So we're talking about integrity. Now I could also see, and as we move forward, it's a very powerful obstacle, though. Because it makes a person feel like, well, when I have this, I feel important, or I feel needed. I feel it, like, makes a person feel something, even if that's not always healthy. Interesting. So in the end game, we have decision, which shows me that a person makes the decision, they realize their own power and kind of the power of this obstacle, because it's kind of like, well, I feel like we can all relate this to, I'm seeing the example of like a human relationship, right? Human to human relationship. We can all understand that okay, I'm seeing a child. The child wants something, but it's not the time for it. Or like somebody else has to make the rule, and I don't know, maybe oh, this goes way back there. Okay. Somebody's parents also did not have a good means of communication, or there was a lot of like talking but not doing, or what they talked about wasn't necessarily, I don't know if it was like always subjective or if it was too detached and objective. So either way, it almost, maybe people were just always talking in the home, or some of you were in a relationship some way or another with people that would overpower you. But I guess this shows me that a person finally finds their power, but they had to disengage. They have to, and or had to disengage from something. And it's almost like, at first, it's either way, it becomes testing. After you say, a person says no, you know, like, no more of this, and it's not coming out of an emotionally like reactive place, it's just like, no more of this, there's going to be these tests where it's just like, are you sure? You look, the phone's ringing, or look, that person has what in their hands what you want. You can get it very easily. It's not hard to get the thing that you're trying to say no to. That's the thing. It's like very available, and that's what's, I heard, frustrating. It doesn't mean that when you get it, it gives you what you want in ways of the wanting, but it's still available, and it can be like yours, or yours for the taking. But it's like there's all kinds of tests, and this is a test mentally, particularly, of like holding that space and being like, no, I said no. So someone really gets their boundaries tested, or has had their boundaries very much tested or even stomped on. And so maybe this is a stage of learning in ways of this. I don't know what the situation was in ways of upbringing. I could see that it could, again, go to one of two ways. And if either way, it feels extreme. It's like it was so tightly confining that there was no freedom in anything, no freedom or expression in anything, or you can do whatever you want. It's where you had to learn all the hard lessons, and there was like no wisdom in guiding. Do you know what I mean? So actually, whatever this saying no to it and keeping that strong, this actually brings a person a lot of positive connections or attachment. It's like learning a different lesson. It's kind of like, so these berries sometimes can be, they can seem poisonous to me. It's like the birds could eat them, but we can't, right? It's for something, but not generally the human. And it's almost like, okay, I can have a lot of these berries, but they're not for me. You know, like, so someone, again, can potentially get something, have something that's toxic. And this goes back to a fire sign for a lot of you. And I saw the words imagining. What's this decision about? I mean, I guess we know, but in ways to close this out. Structure. So I heard this is testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3. I heard I got through another day. Maybe whatever you're trying, okay, you're here, right? There must be something you're trying to change or quit or, again, say no to. It could just be like, I don't know, old, again, upbringing kind of programming. But the point, it could go way back there. Go anywhere you want it to. That's kind of the point. You can determine, I guess, the outcome, the decision. You can determine a big chunk of the outcome via your decisions. But whatever you're trying to say no to, I almost feel like right now you might want to think about an ex of yours. So it could even be, again, some kind of toxic other human relationship that you have let go of, that you said no to, that was hard to say no to, and I heard now you don't even really think about them. You know, or if you do think about them, it's not all this shit wrapped up in it. It's something that's, we have the card of renewal. You know, it's like it's healed itself. Do you know what I mean? It's gone through the underworld of things. Okay. Because I think that reflection into those other situations where you're like, somebody must have said to themselves, like, well, I'm never going to leave that person, or I'm never going to leave that job, or this is always going to be my friend, or blah, blah, blah. It's just the distance between things, the detachment which is this space that actually gives this a place to grow healthy abundance. Because it's almost as if a person has so much power, so many seeds of power, if you will. They're I heard, what is it like to feel without pain in it? Like, it was just 1616. Distance, yeah. Someone is definitely supposed to take distance from something. Make a very structured, objective decision. It's not like ultimately out of fear. It's like, no, I heard this has to be. Mystery. Okay. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for being here. Take care. Peace.